Welcome to the 5 best restaurants in Westwood. If you're not familiar, Westwood is where UCLA is. It's just kind of on the edge of like Beverly Hills and Brentwood. So, just a little bit of backstory. So, JP went to UCLA and his fraternity house is still very active. They do a lot of alumni stuff. So, about half the times that we would go to Westwood, it would be for him to do that, and I would just go around to all the different places and try some different foods and do a little bit of work while waiting on him to do those things. But then also a lot of the time, they being like a little like college town neighborhood type of thing, they have a lot of like sports bar type things. So when UCLA would have like away games, we would go watch the games there at some of the sports bars. So we've spent quite a bit of time in the Westwood area. So these are our 5 favorite places that we recommend going to. First is Diddy Reese Cookie. This place is insanely cheap. Cookies are only 50 cents each. They have all these different flavors. You can also get like an ice cream sandwich, an ice cream sundae. These are all the different ice cream flavors that they have. They also do like fudge brownies and shaved ice. Here's kind of a picture from out front and one of the sundaes. You can also buy they have like their day old, like I think you can get a 6-pack and a 12-pack maybe of cookies. That's just like variety packs or maybe all of a single kind. And they're just insanely cheap. Like you could literally just go snack here with like money you find like in your couch or or things like that, or just with change you accumulate over time. And that's one of the best things about it, because if you were to get like a little ice cream sundae like this from like our local ice cream place here in Ohio called Grater's, it would cost you like $7 for virtually the exact same thing. So definitely check that out. There's usually a line, but they move pretty quickly. Monica's New York Pizza. So they make their dough in Brooklyn so that it's made with New York tap water and then they ship it in, which is wild. So they have a Sicilian style pizza, which is like a thick, like square cut. And then they also have like the long, thin triangle New York style slices. So this would be the Sicilian style and this is like the regular ones. I usually go for pepperoni. JP will do sausage. Most of the time we do try to get like a little bit of variety, just because each kind is good for like different reasons. So I wouldn't really say one is always better than the other. It's more so like what you're craving. But again, because it's like by the slice and you have some different styles to choose from, this is also good, college town kind of prices. They also have like garlic knots, and I think they have little like Nutella bites too. I feel like we've gotten those before, but I don't think I have a picture of those. So they have good little things like that too. Next up is Barney's Beanery. This is actually a chain in the LA area, so there is more than just this location. But we specifically go to this one to watch the UCLA games. We've gone many times and even like to meet up with people too. So this is kind of a random combination of different things we've had over the years. So they have a pretty decent old fashioned for it being like a little college sports bar, and they have, a typical like house wine selection and just random beers. One time they made me a hot toddy because it was really cold. It was like unusually cold. And like even because they kind of have like an indoor outdoor kind of setup thing with, and the door like stays open. So I was just cold, like my bones were cold. So I was like, I just want like a hot drink, and they're like, I could make you a hot toddy. So I was like, that sounds perfect, and it was great. So get a hot toddy there. Some of our other go-tos, they have a pretty good just kind of like side salad. Their pretzel bread is really great, very satisfying and filling. These are the Irish nachos. I love Irish nachos. These are like just like loaded up like potato wedges. Sometimes it's tater tots too, but it's just anything that you would put on nachos. Their onion rings are really great. JP usually likes to get onion rings instead of fries most of the time. I forget what the specific sandwich was. But we've gone so many times that I'm just not really sure. These are mac and cheese wedges and like a marinara sauce that you can dip it in. Those are a really great appetizer. So yeah, so those are some of our go-tos. We tend to just get more like appetizer type things to just snack on because we're there for like a whole football game. Prince of Venice is another place that's on that main little stretch. They have pizza and pasta. This was the cacio pepe, and then this is a sausage and pepperoni pizza. With this one in particular, this was one of JP's fraternity events. So I came down here and I had my whole little bowl of pasta, And then that's where I was when he was done, and he was still hungry. So then we decided to try the pizza since they're like known for both, and it's really good. It's not nearly as busy as the other places because they just kind of had a couple tables like outside. So it's kind of like low key, but like good quality food. And so it's a good little kind of like hidden gem. And then lastly, we have Rocco's Tavern. It's another great place to watch games at night. It does turn into like a nightclub though, so you want to be like ready to go by the time that happens so you don't have to deal with that. I really liked this spiked cactus water vodka seltzer thing that they had. That was like nice and light. These are zucchini sticks. I love zucchini sticks. Coming from Ohio, I don't know of a single place that has them here, and even having lived in Florida for like 5 years, I don't really recall those being a thing, but in California, everyone's got zucchini sticks everywhere, or like zucchini fries, any sort of combination like this, and I love them. They are so good. We've also had wings, and they even have like a baked mac and cheese. I don't have a picture of it though, and then they serve like full-sized pizzas, so they have a little bit of everything, and yeah, it's a good place to watch games. Just be ready to go before it turns into a nightclub. So some fun things to do around Westwood. I do have a secret spots in LA post that has some things that are in the area, like this cemetery here. But there's a cemetery like right there, just kind of in between like a courtyard of buildings. JP said he had never even known that that cemetery was there, and he has, you know, lived his whole life in the area. But it's where like Don Knotts, Marilyn Monroe, Hugh Hefner is buried right next to Marilyn Monroe, but there's just a ton of celebrities buried there, and it's a pretty small one to kind of go through and explore, which is a neat thing to do, because they're always like decorated and have like notes and things because a lot of people go to visit. Universal is nearby. They have a ton of new stuff in the last few years that is worth checking out. During the fall, if you want to check out Knights of the Jack in Calabasas or Carved at Descanso Gardens, those are two popular fall activities. And in the winter, the LA Zoo does holiday lights. Here's a picture. You can see Marilyn Monroe's grave here, and then you see this is Hugh Hefner right next to her. Where to stay near Westwood. So just 3 miles down the road is the just 3 miles down the road is the Beverly Wilshire. This is the hotel from Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts. We stayed for New Year's one time, and it's super convenient because it's like right there on Rodeo Drive, so all the shops and restaurants are right there. If you hang out at like the hotel bar or hotel pool, you can do some like celebrity sightings and things like that. It is a bit of a splurge for sure, but it's fun to do, you know, for at least one night, one time. Some other posts in the nearby area. I do have a top restaurants list for Beverly Hills, Hollywood, the Fairfax District, Glendale, Burbank, and then I have a longer one for LA in general, which just covers everything that's not in any of these other posts. So those are our favorite restaurants in Westwood.